Hey everyone, this is my quick spoiler-free review of the first Dirk Gently book, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency by Douglas Adams. And today we're tackling the question, is Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency better than the Hitch-Hikers Guide to the Galaxy series? Let's find out. So let's rewind a bit and have a look at this handy chart I created of the publication history of Douglas Adams. The first series of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy radio play came out in 1978. And then he went on to publish the first book in the series slightly before the second series came out. Then he published the second book, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, and then the TV series came out shortly after that. Then we've got Life, the Universe and Everything. The video game came out in 1984, and then he published the fourth book, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, around 1985. And then he took a break from all that Hitchhikers stuff and published the first Dirk Gently novel in 1987, when he was only 35. So he'd written 4 of the Hitchhikers books and obviously wanted to do something fresh. And probably the biggest thing to say about this book is that it's way better plotted than most of the Hitchhikers books. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books are pretty random for the most part, which is part of their charm, although in the third and the fourth book he tried to have a bit more of a plot, and they were a little bit meh. So Dirk Gently was a greenfields project where he could really just come up with whatever he wanted without any of the baggage from what had come before. Regarding the plot, it's basically about an English guy who hires a private investigator to look into a bunch of really weird things. It is set in our world, but there are a bunch of kind of otherworldly things that happen. Some where you could kind of put it in the category of sci-fi. And one thing to be aware of, this isn't really a spoiler, is that the main character is not actually Dirk Gently. It's a programmer called Richard. And Dirk Gently doesn't even make an appearance until almost halfway through the book. Also, it's called Holistic for a reason. The book is full of these little mysteries. There are these minor things, like someone coming into a room with an odd look on their face, or these little vignettes set in these very strange locations, and then a couple of sentences that mention someone coming out from behind a rock and dusting themselves off. And you're left wondering, what the heck is going on? But fear not, because everything comes together in the end. And you may ask, is it funny like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? And I think the answer to that is it's not trying to be as overtly humorous as Hitchhikers. It's kind of more laid back. It's still humorous, but just in this kind of pleasant way. I mean, it's almost impossible for Adams to write in a serious way. If you've ever read any of his magazine articles, there's just a way he uses words and talks about concepts in a fun way. And if you didn't massively like Hitchhikers just because of the way it was a bit too silly, you may actually prefer the humour in the Dirk Gently books. And one more crucial thing, if you read this book, and this is not a spoiler, but I was a bit confused by the ending. I had to look up the Wikipedia plot outline and that explained it. It turns out you need to know about Coleridge's poem Kubla Khan, and not so much the poem itself, but how he came to write the poem in the first place. Which I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty obscure. I mean, I tend to think of myself as semi-okay educated, but not that well educated. Anyway, it is clever and it makes sense once you get it. So, is it better than Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Well, my scores for the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books were 5 for the first one, 4 for The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, 4 for Life, the Universe and Everything, 3 for So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, and 4 for Mostly Harmless, although he hadn't written this at the point in time when he wrote the Dirk Gently books. And a lot of people give these sequels even lower scores than I do. And this, I give 4 stars. So the answer is mixed. I don't think this is as good as the first Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy book, but I definitely think it is at least as good as the rest of the Hitchhiker's books. It's a strong recommendation if you want to read something that is quite different to anything else you'll read. Just be prepared for that obscure ending. And a quick note on the Dirk Gently TV show. I haven't seen it, but I do hear it doesn't follow the plot of the books at all. It just uses the character and the general vibe of the books. If you've read the book or watched the TV show, drop your thoughts in the comments below. His next book is the second Dirk Gently, The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul, and I have finished this, so you can expect a video on this soon, and I'll see you there.